Hi everybody, I'm back. So class was canceled today. Thankfully, I get a break, extra study time. But I figure I'd come home and upload an updated video for you guys. So what I want to go over today is just a typical day being a sonography student. So I'm gonna get started. I don't want the video to be super long and you have to drag it out and watch 20 minutes worth of video. So anyway, right now I'm taking physics. I'm taking SPI. This is 2, okay, SPI 2. I'm taking abdominal 2 and OBGYN 2. Okay. For a typical day, let's say I don't have lab on my lab, okay, not on my lab days, on my class days, lecture days. I'll pretty much, or our teacher, our instructor will go over every course. We'll do a lecture. With every lecture, here's our textbook. So let me just show you. This is, sonography book, volume 1. We have volume 2 here. Pretty much most of our OB stuff is in here. Most of our abdominal stuff is in here. And then here we have our physics book. This is what we use. Actually, we're pretty much done with this. We have maybe 2 chapters left to cover. Anyway, a typical day, we'd go over, let's say, scrotum, because we just covered that. We go over scrotum, we go over anatomy, so pretty much where everything is in relation to each other. We go over, different structures, normal measurements, basics, just like that. You cover technical considerations, pretty much what can you do better to improve your scanning techniques. So whether it has anything to do with, like the knobs on the ultrasound system, just simple things like that. Scanning techniques, the way you would scan, the scanning planes, patient positioning, what type of transducer to use. You go over pathology. So pretty much with everything you cover, there's a section for pathology, and there's a wide variety of things that can happen. So an example, we just covered like scrotum, so like torsion or epididymal orchitis, microlithiasis. I think those are just a few of the things we covered in the scrotum chapter, which, yeah, there's a few other ones, but not to get into detail. But those are just certain, conditions or, different things that can happen with the testes. After that, that's pretty much all for lecture. We pretty much go over the basics. Some chapters are short, some chapters are long. Yeah, it's not too bad. You go over sonographic images, so how you would see the testes in the ultrasound image when you're scanning, the echogenicity or, the brightness of the image, how it should be, the brightness of the structures, any shadowing, any enhancement, anything like that you'll see. So those are the basics you cover. For OB and GYN, it's the same thing. You go over basic anatomy, technical considerations, pathology, just things like that. Physics is more of, you just kind of have to memorize it. That's my thing. That's what I do. I try to memorize it, get it stuck in my head for testing purposes. That way, when it comes time to take the registry, I'll be good. I've been doing pretty good so far. So the thing I keep stressing in any one of my videos that I've uploaded, you have to read the book. You have to read the chapters. I read the chapters over and over and over again, over and over. You have to. So that's the only way I can get it stuck in my head and be good for testing purposes. Learning, you're going to learn as you go, as you scan. It's going to stick in your head the more you do it over and over again. So, yeah. On my lab day, so we're basically in the lab. You partner up. You have a lab partner. Whatever you're going over, you're pretty much scanning your partner. So right now, we just went over, we just did like female pelvis, lower female pelvis. And with that, you're scanning the uterus, you're scanning the endometrium, you'll see the bladder, you'll get the ovaries left and right, you'll get the left and right adnexa, you'll use the spectral Doppler to get waveforms, you'll use color Doppler to see the vascularity throughout. Let's see, what else? You'll see the cervix, or you'll scan that and get some images of that. You'll get the posterior cul-de-sac. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really easy, actually. It sounds like a lot, and let me just show you. These are pretty much our lab protocols. If you can see here, you can see all my notes that I take, and all these points here. These are all the images we have to get. You have measurements you have to take. So let's say you get a sagittal image of the uterus. Then once you get the grayscale image, you have to get measurements. You have the length and the AP. That's pretty much it. And use color Doppler whenever you need to, just to see the vascularity throughout. You use the spectral Doppler to get specific waveforms. You need an arterial waveform and a venous waveform for the ovaries. And those were pretty much the hardest thing for me to get. It took the longest just because you it's like a guessing game, you know. You have to find, you know, some blood flow, put the gate right there in the middle of it, and the waveform will come up. You know, depending on where you're located or where it's at, the direction of blood flow is going to give you the right or, you know, wrong waveform you need. But whatever. Okay, here's a tip my instructor told us. If you get something, you want to take it. You want to save it because you might not get it again. So whenever you can get it, a waveform, whether it's what you're looking for at the time or not, I would get it and take it and keep it because you may not be able to find it again. That's pretty much all for lab. All you do is scan, and so like the things that we're not able to scan, let's say like the testes or the transvaginal, or when you use a transvaginal transducer, pretty much that's when you know, you have the long probe and you stick it inside the woman, and you pretty much scan, just, you know, you turn it, get these sagittal and transverse images, whatever you need. It's pretty easy. I think that one's easier. Like, we did that on the Phantom. We don't do that on each other, no. But we do that on the Phantom, and it's really easy. It's so much easier than the regular transducer. And just for like an example, this is almost kind of like what a transducer would look like. You'd have a little notch here. It's not this big. It's more like a line that you would feel. And, you know, so you have your transverse image, your sagittal image. Then you just pretty much scan whatever you need, you know. Mind you, when you do your movements, when you're scanning, just a tip, whoever's out there watching, and if, you know, you're not doing scanning yet or anything like that, just a tip, you have to have slow movements. So when you move your transducer, you literally want slow movements. And it's going to be like you're barely even moving it, but the slightest move will make a big difference. So slow down, slow movements. But this is a transabdominal probe or transducer. And the transvaginal probe, it's a lot easier. You use that for more detail, to get more detailed characteristics of the structures you're looking at. So like the ovaries, lower female pelvis, you know, you get better images using that. But I'd say that's a lot easier than the transabdominal scanning. I don't know, just because you get more detail, it shows up better. Let's see what else here. That's pretty much it, like for lab. You just scan, you scan the phantoms. That's pretty much it. So whenever, the way we're testing out, when we have tests or exams, you have a whole set of protocols. So you'll have like the female pelvis protocol, you'll have the testes protocol or the scrotum protocol, you know, and I don't know what else we're gonna get, you know, a little bit more. So you'll have all those sheets of protocols. Pretty much when it's exam time or finals time, you'll be timed 40 minutes and you'll have to do all those protocols. Depending on how she sets, or your instructor sets up the testing, like, you know, the testing schedule, she may divide it up into 2 days like she did us. And, you know, 40 minutes one day, 40 minutes the other day for a whole nother exam, which I think we did the thyroid separately. So yeah, that's not a lot of time to get all your protocols done, but it's possible. I felt like I was kind of rushing to get it done because I didn't want to, you know, like skip a whole bunch of structures or organs that I needed when I was scanning, when I was taking my test, and then, you know, fail. So pretty much you want to use your time wisely when you're testing out or even scanning. But at the same time, you want to make sure you're getting the image that you need. Annotation is important. You want to make sure you're always annotating correctly. Let's see. Any tips for studying I can give right now is just read your book. Do it as many times as you're able to. So I stayed up last night reading just because, I mean, I wasn't testing out anything. I wasn't having any tests or anything, but I figured I'd get a head start and read as much as I could. That way when it's test time, I'm not trying to cram it all in my head. So yeah, great idea. Read your book as many times as you can. We do have some like worksheets. They're like workbook worksheets that we can do throughout the book. I don't like studying with those just because they're kind of basic. You know, I personally don't think they help. So I'd rather just not even look at those. I just read the book. Everything you need is in here. So that will help. Trust me, I promise. I know a lot of times for those of you who are in the program right now and who are just starting, I know you're probably stressed the heck out. You're going to be that way. You're going to feel that way for a long time. Okay. I know sometimes you're going to want to feel like you want to give up. There's going to be times where you feel like you cannot do this anymore, where you just do not have time for it. Where you're going to have times where you feel like you have no family time for those of you who have kids or, you know, a family. I just want to tell you, do not give up. It will get better soon. I promise. Last semester compared to this semester for me, I wasn't getting any sleep. I wasn't spending lots of time with my family. Although, you know, when my kids do come home, I like to put my books up, you know, and spend a little time with them. But it's just not enough. By the time we get home from picking them up from daycare and stuff, you know, I have maybe an hour and a half, you know, to get dinner going, get them in the bathtub, get home, you know, all that stuff. You know, by the time I'm done doing everything, it's time to sit down. It's time to put them to bed, you know. So, yeah, you're going to feel that way. Just don't give up. It will get better soon. Trust me. I promise it will get better soon. You'll feel a load lifted off of your shoulders once you get through the first couple of semesters. The way we're doing it, like we haven't even started going to clinicals yet. We'll start next semester in September. I think August time frame. The end of all. No, you know what? I think September. The first week of September, I think we start our clinicals. But so yeah, I haven't even got the clinical scanning, you know, in the hospitals. I haven't even got that experience yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I'm a little nervous though, just because of the fact that you know, my last job, I had to deal with a lot of nurses over the phone and stuff, and like medical staff. And I don't know why, but I've always had bad experiences. Like the ones I've talked to over the phone are always so rude, and they'll talk to you like you're just nothing, you know. And I was answering the phone, you know, I was working the phones, and oh my goodness, some of them were just so rude. A lot of them were, a handful of them. But I don't want to judge nobody. I know they have a stressful job. But yeah, so that's the only thing that makes me a little nervous. Other than that, I'm just ready to go knock it out and go get that experience under my belt. You know, I'm ready to go and deal with the patients. I'm ready to go, you know, scan, get my techniques down, get better at them, and, you know, be the best pretty much sonographer out there. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. If y'all do have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will do my best to answer as soon as I can. Coffee will probably be your best friend when you're in the program. I didn't drink coffee as much as I do now. I hardly drink it before, actually. Now, I drink it every day. I try to keep it to a cup, and that's it, a day. But, yeah. So you might need that, especially when midterms and exams come. You might need that. Oh, yeah, that helped a lot. There were times where I just pulled all-nighters. I didn't get any sleep. I probably got like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes of sleep. Get up, get the kids dressed, get them to school, get me to school. It was rough. But yeah, I hope my video helped. If y'all do have any more questions, leave a comment. I'm going to end it right here because the time is going up, and I know y'all don't want to watch a video for 20 minutes. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.